Hello everyone, this is Jordan the Tattooed Stitcher. I'm back for my 2-week Flosstube update. I've got a good number of things to show. It's really crazy how much there is after just 2 weeks, so I'm glad that I started doing the 2-week videos. I hope everybody has been enjoying all their stitching time. It has been really strange weather here, so I've been doing a lot of stitching. We had like 4 days where it was 50 degrees and sunny and all the snow melted. It was so weird. I was like, early spring. And then we had 2 days of just dumping on snow, and now it's like raining and snowing and gross. So I just avoid the outdoors. So yeah, there's your weather update. I feel like I give you a weather update every video. I don't have much going on, okay? So let's just jump into what I got done this week. Let me move that. Sorry, already shaking the camera. I have 2 finishes and I'm really excited about that. Look, I have a board. I'm gonna try to be professional and fancy. It's gonna take me 10 times as long to show things probably. Okay, so my first finish is Be My Valentine. It was a pattern from Sub Rosa Designs. I stitched it on a 36 count mystery linen from Grace Notes. It's like got a barely there pinkish, like tannish pinkish undertone. I used colors from my stash. The called for colors are overdyes, and I didn't have any of them. Actually, I did have the red, but I didn't like my skein of the red that I had. So I ended up switching all the colors to just colors from my stash. And then the berries here on the end were originally charted in this same red, but I switched it to a pink color. I don't remember the colors I used. I was gonna say, if you really want to know, I can try to figure it out, but I really doubt I could figure it out because my floss right now is a mess. It's like, oh, there it goes. I just tossed it on the floor. It's like a mess. It's everywhere. It's not organized. If someone has a tip for organizing overdye floss, I would love to hear it, because what I've been doing is not working. As you get more floss, it stops working. And then my last finish over the last 2 weeks, and most recent finish, I finished this on, let's see, today is Tuesday, and I finished this on Sunday. And that is, I don't have the chart, I already put it away. Glittering Leaves from Nor Corbett. The fabric's getting a little washed out maybe. It's a pretty rich brown. I think it's called Havana from Color and Cotton. And I stitched, this was totally not on the docket to stitch, okay? I just had like a weird inkling desire, and I was like, you know, she is not that big. I think that I could finish her, and I finished her in 2 days. I started with, I had just done a teeny bit of skin right here, and I had done these leaves and these leaves and these leaves. So most of it I did in the 2 days, and that's telling you how fast of a stitch she is. And there's like 20 beads. There's a few beads at the top and a few beads in that one and a few beads at the bottom. And my beads are not laying very nice. I don't know what happened. They got like really loose or something. I'm not sure. So this is stitched in the called for water lilies. There are 2 water lilies, and I did not use the called for beads. I didn't have it, so I just subbed with a gold bead that I had in stash. And she's very pretty. She's very fall. I'm gonna try to finish her so I can display her for fall this year. So yeah, 2 lovely finishes. Okay, so as you know from my last video, I'm trying to follow like a themed day schedule, and So I'm trying to think the last thing you saw. I don't remember the order of things that you saw. So I'm just gonna grab them. So on Sundays, I do Santa Sunday. And for the last 2 Sundays, I have pulled out Christmas at Hollyberry Farm. I'm stitching this with Lauren, the New Hampshire stitcher. And I'm stitching this with all of the called fors. And I'm stitching it on, bag. This is a P&T bag from Etsy. Super cute. I loved it. Okay. I'm stitching this on 40 count marbled bunny from XJU Designs. Oh, and look, I'm already forgetting my little board here. Let's see. This actually might be helpful for showing things. It's really wrinkly. Again, I do not iron. Okay, so here is where it is. I decided to do some more fronds in the border, and then I did some more letters and more of these little thin borders, and then I did the word Mary, but mostly I did roof fill-in. So originally my plan with the roof was to stitch it in a diamond pattern, and then I realized it was not even looking like diamonds. Like, it wasn't. You could probably see like a few random diamonds in there, but to me, it just looked kind of like blotchy, which I'm okay with. But I was like, why am I trying so hard to do diamonds if it's not even looking like diamonds? So I'm stitching it kind of in like a blotch patterns. And I like the way that it's turning out. I like the effect. So 2 Sundays of stitching on this, and it doesn't look like I did hardly anything. This is a really big pattern, but it's okay. It's okay. It's very pretty. Okay. This might be a bit time consuming, the board thing. Okay. And then for Wicked Wednesday, Witchy Wednesday, whichever it is, whichever you like to use, I pulled out Sail at the Bubbling Cauldron, and I'm stitching this with Bernadette Burn Stitches. And I finally got to the very edge of it so that I could cut the fabric to size. I'm stitching this on 40 count Galis from Fabrics by Stephanie. And so this is where it is right now. I filled in this whole purple section, and I did the smokestack thing, and then I did this. It's like a barrel full of wands, I think. So it's not backstitched yet. And I did the bottom, I did this little cat, and then the lanterns and the gate and all that. And this is the end of this pattern on the side, the edge of this pattern on the side. So it goes about like to here, I think. I gave myself a pretty good margin because I really love this fabric and I want to be able to frame it and show quite a bit of the fabric when it's framed. And I'm just stitching this with some of the called fors and some from my stash. Oh, and I filled in this window pane behind. Oh my gosh, I keep smacking the camera. So that was my Wicked Wednesday stitching. I really am enjoying the themed days. It forces me to work on projects that I wouldn't normally want to work on outside the season, and get more progress done. And it's definitely motivating. I'm enjoying it. Okay, and then this WIP I worked on for like multiple Fridays, multiple Tuesdays and Thursdays are like my free-for-all days because I was loving it. And that is Feast of Friendship from Blackbird Designs. Yes, I'm stitching this also with Bernadette and Burn Stitches. And I'm stitching this with a mix of the called fors and a mix of from Stash. And it's being stitched on 36 count earthen. I'm pretty sure it's earthen from Picture This Plus. And I got a lot done on it. Ooh, it's so pretty. Love it. I had to do a few like color alterations, like the ones I had chosen like weren't working in some spots or looked too similar to another color, and so it kind of took me a bit of time to work through that. I did worry that my color I chose for my pot, which is roasted marshmallow, toasted marshmallow, roasted marshmallow, one of those. I did worry that it was too yellowy, but I think it's looking okay. Got my initials in there, and yes, I've already put in the date. Is that like tempting fate? I don't know. Or is it motivational? Could go either way. So I'm 100% done with the pot of fruit, the fruit bowl. There's a really giant pumpkin right here, and it's got like vines that go all the way up, and then the big giant blue house. So I don't think I'm quite halfway, but it's a beautiful project. I love it so much. I will finish it this year because I want to have it framed and displayed. Oh, and this is in one of my bags that I made. So was my other Halloween one. I keep the bags that are that I mess up on or that like that I screw up on and I have to like piece the lining, so there's a seam in the lining, and I just keep those ones because I'm not gonna make people pay for those ones. Okay. Okay, and so the last project for Fall Friday that I worked on, I actually picked it up on Friday, this past Friday. Maybe I should pull up the picture of it. I am stitching this with a lovely group of ladies. I think the most of them are from the UK, but there are one or two from Canada. And they invited me to join their Sal. They're called the Sal Queens. And our group has gotten quite large. It's very fun. And we are stitching the Victoria Sampler Pumpkin Patch Farm. Let me turn the brightness up. Pumpkin Patch Farm. And I have gotten behind on this. We're on part 4, I think, which is the first half of that pumpkin field below the house. And so I was very far behind because I had only had the house done. So I picked up and I was determined to catch up, and I am almost there. I've gotten pretty close. So I'm stitching this on 30, well, okay, I've done a little bit more than what you're supposed to, but it's not back stitched all the way yet. So I'm not quite a full part ahead, but I am caught up, I believe. So I'm stitching this on 32 count Heartland from Picture This Plus. So what I did, maybe I don't need this board for this. Let's see. Yeah, it's okay. So what I had done is, I had to do like this whole half here. So this little farmer gal, her head is stitched over one, and all of these leaves are stitched over one in the variegated floss that I chose in place of Gloriana Harvest Grape. I chose Cottage Garden Threads, but I don't remember the name. It's a really beautiful fall variegated thread. And so I did all that. The 1/1 leaves took a long time. I swear those took almost a full day, and I messed up. I miscounted somewhere. So like my top half of these leaves are off. I was not picking any of that out. Nope. And I think it looks just fine. And so then the next part I was behind on was these bands. So this was just, it's called an arrowhead stitch, basically just back stitching across. And then this band, don't look too close. There are many, many mistakes. This was called a waffle stitch. I'm getting close to see if you can see it. So it's called a waffle stitch, and it's done over 9 threads, and there's like 18 like crossings that you have to do. I do not know what was wrong with me. I could not figure this out. So they're all like kind of different sizes, but they still look really cool. And I'm the only one that will notice. And I'm fine with that. So, and then I was catching up on all these little pumpkins, and they're pretty confetti heavy. Each pumpkin was 2 colors of green and 2 colors of red and then or orange. And then the back stitching is 2 different colors. And then those little kids, their heads are also over 1. They look a little demented in mine. It's okay. And then the bottom row of leaves is the same color that's in the leaves up here. But it is beautiful. I'm loving it. I'm learning a lot, and it's challenging my brain. I can only stitch this like in the daytime when I have brain power. Nighttime is when I make mistakes. But I'm really, really loving it, and makes me think I need to have a Victoria sampler going like all the time. So when I finish this one, maybe I'll stitch like a winter or Christmas themed one. Okay, and then, is that my last WIP? That must be. Okay, so I have one new start that I did in the last 2 weeks, and it was 100% unplanned, impromptu, last night. I started it last night. I've always loved this pattern, but I just haven't, I don't know. There's so many other things. There's so many things to stitch. I love this pattern though. And then I was watching, I'm so sorry, Rosanna from Nest of Petals. And she posted a video showing her finishes for 2023. And this was one of her finishes, and she stitched it in the DMC, and it was beautiful. And I loved it. I loved it. I was like, okay, this is my 13th wedding anniversary this year. I've never stitched anything for an anniversary. We don't even really celebrate it. We don't go anywhere. We just like hang out at home, do dinner at home, like our usual thing. But I thought the 13th year might be fun to stitch something for our anniversary. So I decided to start What Remains by Blackbird Designs. And I'm going to use that as an anniversary sampler. So I'll change the bottom year to our wedding year, and then I'll add our initials somewhere in it. And I'm stitching it in the DMC. It does give you DMC, so it's got the called for over dies, and then next to it in parentheses, it gives you the DMC. And I'm stitching this on 40 count Santa's Coffee with 2 creams. It was a Jingle Ball fabric from Mason Linens that I got from Ink Circles shop. That's pretty accurate for the color. It is a beautiful linen. It's so pretty. And so I started this last night. This is where I am on it. I started in the middle only because all my other samplers I've started on the border. So I thought I'll start with something fun in the middle, that big giant red flower. And then I'm just working my way towards the border so I can do, alternate doing border and fun things. So yeah, there's my one new start. I love it. Okay, so that was pretty fast. Oh, forgot to put that away. Okay, so let's go into my haul. I don't want to rattle the... Okay, so my haul, I got the 3rd house in the Fabulous House series from Abby Topknot. I'm just on an auto ship. There was no over dies for this one. Look how cute it is. I would love to stitch this one and like display it in the spring and summertime. I know a lot of people are stitching them all on one big piece of fabric, but I like the idea of doing them all separate, and I can display them at different seasons. And then I'm pretty sure it's either the next one. It's either the next one or the next one. That is the Hobbit one. I'm so freaking excited. That one is going to be stitched immediately. I cannot wait. And I'm going to display it always, all year long. Okay. And then this next haul is, I'm blaming my mother-in-law, Lorinda, for it because it's her fault and she knows she did it. I have bought a few Leisure Arts Christmas books. They were really cheap. I found them on Thrift Books. I think the most expensive one was $5. So don't come at me. So I got this one, The Charms of Christmas. This is book 22. If anyone would like, I could do a video where I flip through these. They're pretty big. I'll tell you the reason that I bought this one specifically was for this Santa with the bunny on his back and the bird on his hand. And also for these wintry recollections, little seasonal snippets. I think they are so adorable. I love them. So there's that one. And then I bought 4 Seasons in Cross Stitch. Just a bunch of cute little like critters in it. I think this book was $2. It doesn't have very many projects in it that I like, but there are a few that I do like. And then there's like flora and fauna things too. And then I got Christmas Portraits. This is book number 3. There are a lot of Santas in this book that are just so good. They're so good. Maybe I'll show you a few of my favorite ones. Maybe I'm confusing this with the other one. What did I get this one for? Okay, look at this giant reindeer. Santa. They're just so pretty. And they have like lavender and lace feelings. Okay, look at him. I love Santas that aren't like typical red Santas. I love a red Santa, but I also love the ones that aren't typical red Santas. I know there was another one that I bought this book for specifically. Maybe. I don't know. And then I got Santa Claus, An American Treasure. This is book number 18. Okay, this is the one I'm thinking of. You know how many Christmas books Leisure Arts has? 1 billion. But look at some of these Santas. You'll die. Look at his clogs. He's so cute. Look at this crusty Santa. I love it. Oh my gosh, this was my favorite one in this book. Look at those critters and his giant tree on his back. Oh, love it. There's so many good ones. Look at him. I guess we're going to do a quick flip through. We're already going through them. There's so many. There's too many to show. I just want to show my favorites. I should have marked them in here. Okay, and then I also got Seasons Remembered, Leisure Arts book 9. There are some really beautiful scenes in here. That tree is pink. I'm wondering how there's a pink, like cherry blossom looking tree in the winter. This one's kind of creepy. Tender. Oh, this one, love. Look how pretty that is. Oh, I love it. That's one you can leave out through the whole winter long. Some really pretty springtime ones. There's another one in here. Let me get to the fall ones. Oh, like, look at these geese and the mallards. I like them. So yeah, bought some of them books. And then I got in, let's see, that's Happy Mail, that's plans. Okay. Would it be a tattooed stitcher haul video if there was no fabric? No. Okay, so I'll start with my Grace Notes Fabric of the Month Club. And I get the 36 count linen. And this one is called Heather on the Hill. And it is a really pretty, I hope that's showing up, like icy purple. Like an icy purplish, bluish color. Purple's so hard to show. I hope it's coming up, but it is so pretty. So pretty. I love it. And then I wish I could remember the Instagrammer's name, but they posted a WIP of a Teresa Kogut they were stitching, and the fabric, I was like, oh my gosh, what is that? And she luckily put in the description what the fabric is, and 2 seconds later it was in my cart and I bought it. And it is called Everything Else from Mystic Fabrics. I got it in a 40 count linen. Oh, I have it's a fat quarter. It's so pretty. It's the perfect sampler neutral. I have no idea what I'm putting on it. Something's gonna go on here, obviously. It is stunning. I loved it. And then, because I can't just check out with one fabric, I mean, come on. Mystic Fabric has a lot of like ready to ship fabrics too, which I love. So this one also made it into my cart, and it's called Winter Solstice. I got it in 40 count. And is a really pretty wintry, purpley, bluish color. Oh, it's so pretty. I'm thinking a mirror needs to go in here. Like absolutely a mirror needs to go in here. It is beautiful. I love it, love it, love it. And then I went on to one of my other favorite places to buy fabric, which is Hollis Hands Creates shop on Etsy. And I got a few, because, okay, I love how you can get 1/8 cuts. So I got 40 count eucalyptus from Fox and Rabbit in an 1/8. And I got 40 count hog bristle from Fox and Rabbit in an 1/8. Oh, that is beautiful. It's like a really yellowy-ish. That's so pretty. And then I got baked clay, also in an 1/8. I'm pretty sure this is the called for linen for the Artsy Housewife coffee and eggs. So that one might just go straight into that project to use. And then I was watching, this is probably like 2 or 3 videos ago. I think it was her WIP parade. Heidi Stitching Faye. She was showing like her finishes for 2023. And she had finished a Prairie Schooler. I cannot remember what it's called. Tricks in the Treats or spells and casting spells or something. I'm not sure. But she had finished a Prairie Schooler where it's like all the squares of the different images. And she had stitched it on Copper Penny. But Copper Penny only comes in a 32 count, and it's pretty hard to find. And she had said that there was a Fox and Rabbit color that is really close to Copper Penny. And so I immediately bought it. I bought it in a 1/4 yard because I was like, I want to stitch Prairie Schoolers on this. Then it came, and it's a little bit darker than I normally stitch on, but it's really pretty. And it is Fox and Rabbit Seaweed. It's really, really pretty. I have a 1/4 of this. Oh, it's really pretty, but it is on the darker side, and I do struggle with too dark of fabrics, and it's a 40 count. I think I could do it. I think I could do it though. It's so pretty. So that is all my fabric. My last piece of haul was this needle minder from Clay by Kim. It's one of her wood cut ones that is painted. Obviously, I had to get it. It's the White Rabbit. I've been watching and waiting for her to upload more of the Mad Hatter's hat. I want that one. Okay, then I got the final fabric for Pinup Girls, the round robin I'm doing with Amber, Rogue Mama Stitcher, Bernadette Burn Stitches, Maggie Kitschy Whips, Mary the Daydream Stitcher, and Jamie Teeny Weeny Stitches. We are on the last girl. So I got the fabric. This is Bernadette's fabric. So I will be pulling up the caboose on hers. And this is a really, really pretty fabric. I don't know what it is. Something Bestitch Me, I know that. I can't remember the name. But it's so pretty. It's opalescent. I'm a little nervous because you guys know me in opalescence, but I think I'll be able to get it done. It's a small little thing. So yeah, I'll be doing that to send it off and we'll be done with this round robin. It's crazy. Okay, I did get some happy mail. Well, this wasn't in the mail, but my mother-in-law, Brenda, gave me this pattern, Christmas basket from Sub Rosa. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. It's got a really big white border all around it. I don't know if I'll stitch the border or if I'll just do the pot in the middle, but it's not that big of a pattern and it looks really, really pretty. Only calls for 3 colors. 85 by 125. Yeah, that's small. So got that. And then I got a Christmas present from my lovely Rocio. It came in this adorable box. Look at it. So first in the box was this amazing shirt that I'm wearing that you have to see. She gave me this shirt. The Bat Boys. It is from A Court of Thorns and Roses, one of my favorite book series ever. And the back has all their wings. All their wings on it. I love it so much. I have already worn it like 4 times. It's so good. So Court of Thorns and Roses is one of my favorite book series ever. Author Sarah J. Maas. I even have a tattoo for it. This tattoo right here, the Phases of the Moon, is a tattoo that Feyre gets on her back. And so she just knows me. And then she also gave me, so a long time ago, I had seen a TikTok video of this cafe called the Hobbit Cafe in Austin, Texas, and she lives in Houston. But I was like, please go here and take videos and pictures for me. And she didn't go there, but she did get me this coaster that has their little sign for the cafe out front. Someday I will come visit and we will go to the Hobbit Cafe. I don't know how far away Austin is from Houston. Probably a million miles because Texas is huge. But she said it was a local photographer that goes around and takes pictures of like famous places in the area. And I love it. So it'll go down by in my stitchy spot. And then this beautiful bookmark. Alice, of course. Love it. And then some Sanju. Some really pretty, if I can get it open, wooden bobbins. Thread bobbins. They're so pretty. So now I need to, oh, there's another one that got lost in here. I need to put those with the project somewhere. And then this cute little baggie. And then this pin cushion thing from one of our favorite places to buy fancy stitching things, Aggie Works. She's from Russia and she hand makes wooden things for cross stitch. She got me this cute little pin cushion for our Stitchy travel boxes. And this is like handmade, like wood base to it. Love it! I'm so spoiled by my friends. Okay, so stitching plans. You know me, I don't like to do too many, but I do have a few. I am going to start, let me get this on my handy little board. Okay, I'm going to start another Sub Rosa design that I had bought for Valentine's. It is this one. It's called the Love Pillow. It's only 2 colors. And I am going to stitch it on, what is this? 36 count aged paper from Color and Cotton. So it just looks like that. Is it coming up a little pinky for you? It's so funny because when I look at it like this all by itself, there's no pink. But then when you have the whole piece, there's pink in it. It's a strange color. Plays tricks on me. But I'm going to stitch it with colors from my stash. I'm going to use Bunny Honey and Dracula. So I think it'll be really pretty. I'm just waiting for a hoop to come in the mail because this piece of fabric I cut will not fit into my bigger size hoops. So I'm just waiting for a hoop for that. So that is in the immediate plans for the next 2 weeks. And then let's see, what's today? The 6th. I think I'll be coming back before the next plan, so that's okay. Immediate plans, what's today? Tuesday. I'm going to work on what remains the rest of today, and then tomorrow is Wednesday. So for Halloween, which one haven't I touched yet? I'll probably pull out Halloween at Hollyberry Farm and try to make it over to the border. I'd like to get to the border. And then I might keep that out the next 2 weeks. I might switch, we'll just see. I usually keep them out for 2 weeks in a row, so they get 2 days, 2 full days. And sometimes I'll bleed it into the next day because Tuesdays and Thursdays are like free for all. So we'll see how many days that gets. And then Fall Friday, I'm going to pull out Autumn at Hawthorne Hollow. I have been thinking about that one. I would really like to finish that 3rd block and get started on another block. So that's the goal for that one. That one's definitely coming out for the next 2 weeks. And then it's supposed to be like Soda Stitch Saturday and Santa Sunday. I don't know. I just kind of roll with it. If I feel like starting something new, I do. But I really haven't been starting much. I started 2 things the last 2 weeks, and one was no, I started 1 thing and I finished 2 things. So not too shabby. So that is all for the stitching updates. I have not quilted. I really need to because now we have a date set for the baby shower and I need to get this quilt top put together so I can get it to my long arm quilter. I don't know if it's gonna be ready in time. Oh, I gotta get going on that. So yeah, if that was all you were here for, thank you for stopping by. I'm gonna go into like life stuff now. So in my last video, I had asked if seeing like things that weren't stitching related was something that would be interesting to you, and it was a resounding yes. So you guys, I tried to film like a vlog style of me making cinnamon rolls. It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. I do not know how people do like vlogs, like day in the life. Oh, it is so much work and it is so hard and you feel like an idiot. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I was like, nope. I got halfway through and I was like, this is a nightmare. I can't do it anymore. So we're just gonna stick with pictures. And since I'm not good at editing, I can't be like, picture here and just pop one up because I'm not good at it. I have to have someone physically show me. I'll just show you pictures on my iPad. So now that you know my failure, would you stop it? Obey me, iPad. Now that you know my failure. Okay. I did make cinnamon rolls and I forgot to take a picture of them after all the like partial vlogging I was trying to do, I didn't even take a picture of the end result. So basically it was a new cinnamon roll recipe I was trying that I saw on another YouTube channel. I will link the channel and the recipe below because, oh my gosh, you have got to try these cinnamon rolls. I have never made such a delicious cinnamon roll in my life. Beware though, the recipe makes 4 dozen, and I was not aware of this. I was just like, making it. And yeah, so I have 3 dozen cinnamon rolls in the freezer. So what I did, okay. So the reason I wanted to try this recipe was because it uses mashed potatoes in it. It's an Amish recipe. And I was like, well, I've had different Amish recipes and I watch quite a few channels on YouTube that are like Amish and their food always looks good. And so I was like, I want to try that. And first of all, they were incredible. It's like, you know, the very center of the cinnamon roll, it's so pillowy and soft, and like that's the part everyone loves, you know, that's why you save it for last. The entire cinnamon roll is that. Oh, they were so good. Just thinking about them, I'm like, I should have pulled out cinnamon rolls for dinner tonight. So what I did was, after I realized, oh my gosh, I'm making 4 dozen cinnamon rolls, I made only 1 little pan of them for dinner that night, and then the rest I didn't even let rise. I cut and put on trays, like, and just put on baking trays and put them in the freezer and like flash froze them. And then sorry, I'm getting a call even though I'm on airplane mode. And then once they were like mostly frozen, I took them all off the tray and stuck them in gallon Ziploc bags. So I have 2 huge gallon Ziploc bags full of cinnamon rolls, which I mean is pretty cool because if you're going to make cinnamon rolls, you might as well make 4 dozen because it makes such a mess either way. So you just have to take my word for it. I made cinnamon rolls. And then I made, so I do like, I hate canned tomato soup. Maybe I just haven't had a good one, but I hate it. So I make homemade tomato soup, and it's really not that hard. You just start with a whole bunch of tomatoes and onions and garlic, and you stick them in a big pot, and you cook it down until they're mostly soft and super hot. And then you stick them in a blender, and you blend it all up into a puree. And then when you're going to put it back in the pot, I use a fine mesh strainer, and I pour it in from the blender and like smoosh it through the strainer so it gets all of the like tomato fiber and seeds and things out, and it's really smooth when it gets into the pot. Then you heat that back up, and I add a bunch of chicken stock and, you know, salt and pepper and heavy cream, and it makes the best tomato soup. I hope these are bright enough for you. The best tomato soup. I made 3 huge quarts of it. Put 1 in the freezer, and we had 1 for dinner that night, and then the other one I used to make tortellini tomato soup like the next week. So I put 2 in the freezer, technically, I guess. So it's really, really easy, and I promise it tastes a billion times better than a can, and it takes almost no more effort. And then another thing I made was, it literally lasted 1 afternoon. Everyone couldn't stay out of it, but I made a cinnamon swirl bread. So you just make like a bread recipe. I don't even remember the recipe for the bread dough that I used. Sometimes I don't even use a recipe because I've done it so often. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure there was a recipe I used, but I don't remember what it was. So I made a cinnamon swirl bread. So like when the dough's all ready to rise its second time, so it rises the first time, you punch it down, and then you're about to like shape it for its second rise. You just cover the inside like a cinnamon roll with some butter and sugar and cinnamon, and then you roll it up, and then when it's in the long roll, I like bring it around into a U and kind of twist it and tuck the end underneath so that you get it to look like that when it comes out. And oh, it was so good. It was so good. Yeah, it didn't last very long in the house. And then one night we had hamburgers, and of course I had no hamburger buns, so I made hamburger buns, and they were really good. They weren't very big. next time I'd make them bigger. I'd cut them out bigger. But then, you know, like we had hamburgers twice that week to try to use up the buns, but there was still a bunch left. So they were going bad. They were like not soft anymore. So I just turned them all into croutons. And then we had croutons for salad for the next week. And they were really good. So those were my adventures in baking the last 2 weeks. I've also made like muffins, like oatmeal muffins and things, but like everyone knows how to make a muffin. Those are just the ones that I was happy about. So, life. Oh, I didn't take a picture, but my husband spent one weekend, last weekend, he built a whole bunch of shelves in our garage, like just using 2x4s and like subfloor, like plywood. Built them all the way to the ceiling. And so now we have 4 huge shelves in the garage, which we have desperately needed. My totes of things were all just stacked one on top of the other in there. And they were, the bottoms was like bowing in and crushing everything in the totes on the very bottom. So I'm so happy we have some shelves in there now. And it literally took him an afternoon. Like it wasn't hard. And the cost of wood has come way down from the last time we built shelves in our old house garage. So we'll be doing a few more shelves in the garage, probably the next couple weekends. Because then he went with his brothers to Salt Lake for the night to go see a comedy show, tickets that I had gotten him for Christmas. And he had fun doing that. What have I done? Stitched. Watch TV. Taking kids to other things. We had parent-teacher conference. I had my son's annual school IEP meeting, which is like individual educational plan. So he has autism. He has special needs. We go through his plan every year, adjust it, take things out, add things in for all of his teachers and therapists and paras at school. He's doing really well. We got to cross off and get rid of so many things in his IEP. I'm so proud of him. He's working really hard, and his goals are just, they keep getting bigger and bigger, and he's just reaching them. It's amazing to see. And all of his teachers and paras and everyone at the school are incredible and very helpful, and they love him, and makes it easy to send him to school when they know they love your kids. And then let's see. So my daughter, my dancing daughter, we've been doing a lot of dance. We've had Saturday dance practices this whole month, the whole last month, because they're preparing for a competition in April. But they have learned the routine so well that Saturday practices are over for now. I'm so happy about it, but I did have to order all of her team makeup. They got to see their costumes for the routine, and they aren't allowed to tell us, and she's actually keeping this secret, and I can't believe it. It's making me so sad. I just want to know. So we've been having fun. Dance has been fun. Guess this week is Barbie week. Every year we have Barbie week, and they get to bring their Barbies and they get to dress up, and they make the room like absolutely crazy, like with decor. It's the cutest thing. So we had Barbie Day yesterday, and they did a cute little Barbie routine, and then I got to take her picture in the Barbie box. It's so cute. So I love it. We love Barbie week. It's the best week at dance. And then my 2-year-old was sick the last couple days. I'm not sure what it was. It's just a weird kid fever. She had a fever for like 2 days and was miserable and wouldn't eat and any of that. No, she's fine. She's back to destroying the house and dragging all my things down to hill where she lives. And I can never find it ever again. So yeah, she's fun mostly. But yeah, she's two. So if you've ever been around a 2-year-old, but she's funny. We'll keep her around. Okay, shows I've been watching, because of course I'm watching shows. Okay, so I watched True Detective. Okay, I remember I watched True Detective the first season like years ago, and I remember it was really good, but for some reason I just never moved on to the second season. And so they are every week putting out new episodes for the 4th season that has Jodie Foster, and I love Jodie Foster. So I was like, all right, I'm going to watch these other seasons, even though they are stories in their own. They are complete stories in each season. So you do not have to watch the other seasons to know what's going on in new seasons. But I just wanted to because I needed something to watch anyways. So I watched the 2nd season, which had Rachel McAdams, Colin Farrell, Vince Vaughn, like heavy cast. And it was really good. It was really good. I've never seen Rachel McAdams in a role like that. And she was fabulous. And Vince Vaughn, I mean, they're just so good. It was a really good one. And then season 3 had Mahershala Ali, and that's the only like name that I can think of. Everybody else I wasn't familiar with, but it was also good. But I personally liked season 2 better, and season 4 has been wild. I don't know where they're going with this. Every episode I have more questions, which you know me, I've said many times, I love that in a show. It's just keeping me sucked in. It's so good. So highly recommend that series. And then we've obviously still been watching 1,000-Pound Sisters. It's the season finale this week. Tonight is the season finale episode. I'm so sad about it. Already, season finale. So that's like your guilty pleasure show. And then I started, so my mom and my sister love the Real Housewives shows, and I have never really been like gotten into them. So I started watching the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City because it's only got 4 seasons versus like some of the others have like a million seasons. They've been on since I was in high school. That's like 15 years of seasons. That's way too overwhelming to like go back and start from the beginning. And I'm struggling. I'm not knocking anybody's, like, if you love these shows, I'm so glad that you love them. But I struggle a bit with them. They're so dramatic. They're so like catty, and I don't know. I can only ever watch like 1 or 2 episodes and I'm like, all right, I'm done with you women. But so I have been watching that. We binge watched the new season of Love on the Spectrum. It premiered, the United States version premiered on Netflix 2 weeks ago, and we watched all of it in 2 days. It's so good. If you haven't watched that show and you love heartwarming shows, like, oh, it's just, I literally cried every episode and I was so invested. I just wanted them to succeed. I love that show. And then we watched the new docuseries on Netflix called Alexander the Great. It's a docuseries, so it's got historians and people talking throughout it, but it's also like moviefied. I don't know what you would call that. And it was good. We liked it. I learned a lot of things about him that I didn't know. I knew a few things, but it was really interesting. I enjoyed that. And then we've watched a few movies. We watched Warrior, which I had never seen before, and it was like a 2011 maybe. It was an older movie with Tom Hardy and I can't think of the other guy's name. Basically 2 brothers in the UFC, like fighting in this, they called it the Spartan thing. And so like they're fighting other fighters until they both reach the top, and the final fight, they both had to fight each other. It was really good. Loved it. We also watched Fury. That's a movie we have seen before in the past a few times, but it's been 3 or 4 years since we've seen it. It's got Brad Pitt, Shia LaBeouf, Logan Lerman. Fantastic war movie. Love it. And then we watched Braveheart. Love Braveheart. I can't tell you how many times I've seen it, but it's a classic. And then we watched 2 new movies to us. See, and this will prove to you why I struggle with new movies. So we watched one called X on Netflix. It had, what is her name? Oh my gosh, Mia Goth and the girl that played Wednesday. I can't think of her name. She played Wednesday in the Wednesday show. and I didn't like it. We got like 3/4 of the way through, and we're like, this is the stupidest movie I've ever seen. It was so stupid. And just like, ugh, I don't know. I didn't enjoy it. Don't recommend. I don't recommend from me, but I did not enjoy that movie. It was like about a traveling group of filmmakers, sexy filmmakers, and then like they are all getting murdered or something. Like, I don't know. I didn't enjoy it. Terrible. We didn't even finish it. And then we watched one that came out in 2019 called Triple Frontier. It has Pedro Pascal, Oscar Isaac, Ben Affleck, and I can't think of his name. And I just felt like it was kind of dumb. Like, it's just dumb. They said the word boys like 800 times, like, let's go boys, like every other sentence that they said. And I was just like, no wonder I've never heard of this movie. It's terrible. And it's sad because it's got some great actors in it. Oscar Isaac, love him. Pedro Pascal, obviously he's fantastic. Ben Affleck is okay. But man, it was a terrible movie. Terrible, terrible movie. And this is why I struggle to watch new ones, because I can't trust them. I can't trust that they'll be good. But good news though, Oppenheimer, which we have been dying to see, is finally coming out streaming on February 16th. That will be our Valentine's celebration. We are going to watch Oppenheimer. It's coming out on Peacock. Really, really, really excited. Cillian Murphy is one of my all-time faves. Tommy Shelby is my husband. Obviously, I even tell my husband this, that Tommy Shelby is my husband. It's fine. So really, really excited about that. And then I started watching Outlander last night. I love season 1 of Outlander. I love it, love it, love it, love it. It just feels like coming home. When I turn on Outlander, it feels like being at home. Like I'm homesick for it. Is that weird to say? I don't know. I love it so much. So that is everything in this video. I chatted your ear off. I apologize. I'm so, what is it? I'm socially starved. So I can just sit here and talk to the camera. It's fine. So I will see you in 2 weeks. It'll be after Valentine's Day. So I hope you have a lovely Valentine's Day doing whatever you do. Valentine's Day, Galentine's Day. I'm hoping to do some Galentine stitching with my pal, gal, Amy Moon from X Stitching and Adventures. Hoping to do some Galentine stitching. And I will see you in 2 weeks for my next update. Bye.